2025, a year that will go down in infamy with many wondering, boy, that was a hell of a year, wasn't it? Yep. I watched a couple superhero movies for this year. So, I'm gonna need a drink. Okay, I've got a drink and I'm back, and I'm gonna go through my list of superhero movies for 2025 from the worst to the best. And number one might very well surprise you because, let's face it, this was not a great year. This really, really was not a great year. But nonetheless, let's do this because we've got to find out what happened and what was done. And, from what I watched, some of them I have to say a few things about. Let's dive into this. We start off at the bottom of the list with Craven the Hunter. Now, you would think after, I don't know, and I'm only including this movie because I saw it well, it came out in like January, February around when I saw it because I didn't go cinema to go and watch it. But you would think that after all the success of Madam Web and Morbius, success, that some people would learn, hey, making these movies about villains and people from Spider-Man era without Spider-Man in it, yes, not a good thing. But no, they didn't learn that lesson at all and decided to make Craven the guy who hunts mobsters for some reason. Because nothing in that movie ever explained why he was doing what he was doing. Because apparently, his father was kind of an asshole. He got attacked by a lion. Some black girl came and gave him some magic potion thing that her grandmother gave her. He got enhanced senses, went back home, didn't like his daddy, ran away to the jungle and then, not even the jungle, more like the woods, and then started hunting down and killing mobsters because they were bad. And apparently he had daddy issues. That was the entire premise of it. There was nothing in there as to an actual point, an actual story. You could have just told a story about Craven hunting people and you threw in Rhino for some reason. It was ridiculous. It was really and truly ridiculous. Till this day, I don't know what the hell they were trying to make with the movie, but at the bottom of the list, Craven, the guy who hunts mobsters for some reason. That was it. And then we got one spot above that, and only because of a name in it, and that's Aztec Batman Clash of Empires. The only reason Aztec Batman beats Craven on this list is because it got the name Batman in it, and that's more of a bet sell, but it doesn't actually work. I was going to do a review for Aztec Batman after watching it, but till this day, I don't know what the hell the point of that movie was. I mean, there were like colonizers and some Aztec people, and this one guy who apparently wanted to help the colonizers, and then they killed his family. He ran away to another village, and then literally, like, I'm telling you, like about maybe a month, dude got jacked as hell and then suddenly decided to dress up like a bat and attack the colonizers. And there was Catwoman in there, and one of the colonizers ended up as Two-Face, and then some mystical shaman fella became Joker after he sacrificed his family who was willing to be sacrificed. It was weird. It really was weird. I mean, it reminds me of that movie Batman Soul of the Dragon. The problem with Batman Soul of the Dragon is that Batman was in it. And Batman not being in it, it could have been a pretty damn good movie, but because Batman was in it, kind of ruined the movie. And then you have this. I mean, if you want to tell a story about an Aztec guy taking revenge against some colonizers who are coming to destroy stuff, okay, fine. But the minute you throw in Batman and try to add in elements of Batman villains into there, it just doesn't work. It really doesn't. It was weird and nobody was getting what was going on in regards to anything, but that's what we were getting. That was the end of it. Next up on the list is James Gunn's Superman by James Gunn. This movie was hyped up so much that by the time it came out, everybody was pretty much sick and tired of it. Honestly to God. From the little teasers, the trailers, whatever that we got, it was just bad. Really, really bad. And I said from the beginning, you had Superman crashing into the snow, coughing up blood, all of this nonsense. And we basically got James Gunn's version of Superman, where Superman is an undeniable cock who has people who aren't even qualified to sniff his cape talking down to him while he gets his ass kicked for 99% of the movie and then gets upstaged by the dog. I mean, there are only so many things you can do with a movie when it reaches the point where people are fed up of it before it comes out. And that's what we were getting. I mean, we literally saw more of James Gunn than the actual actors in this movie. That by the time I went to see it in cinema, I was expecting to see James Gunn wearing the suit and the cape. Honestly, I was literally shocked he wasn't the one wearing it. Honestly, to God. You basically made a movie where you discredited Superman at every point, every turn possible. You understand me? Well, just went on to tell everybody, listen, Superman is an asshole and I can do whatever the hell I want with it. Take that. And that was it. And the only people who actually, I mean, I'm not going to say there are people who like the movie, the majority of people like David Corenswet as Superman, not Superman, because I read this thing on where these people were talking about, oh, how much they like David Corenswet as Superman. They never once mentioned the actual movie. So that should tell you something. Just wasn't happening. It is honestly to God wasn't happening. I mean, yes, it was brighter and it had better visual or something like that. Fine, but that didn't say the story sucked. It made no sense. It is a bloated, nonsensical farce. Speaking of a bloated, nonsensical farce, we have Captain America: Brave New World. Yes, because if you thought that having Falcon take over as Captain America would be bad enough, after watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and the only part in that movie that anybody actually remembers is this, in that series, or this stupid speech at the end where he's literally defending terrorists who killed people, and everybody was like, what the hell is wrong with you? No, it gets worse. Hey, let's take a movie and make it a follow-up of an Incredible Hulk movie that we probably should have done years ago, but somehow decided we were going to leave it until now. You understand me? Bringing this movie there and then reshoot the living hell out of it till we had to cut and paste it together so that anybody looking at this could easily tell, yeah, you spent a whole shitting boatload of money to make nonsense. Anthony Mackie did not carry this movie. He's not a leading man, nothing in it. And it doesn't matter how many times people in the movie were going around, Cap, yeah, Cap. That wasn't making it any better. It's not. There's a reason that people like Steve Rogers as Captain America. And let's face it, Falcon has never been able to recreate that. The character just does not work. The movie was terrible. It was an absolute nonsensical fact. They couldn't put together a cohesive story in the damn thing. They were trying to put together so many different working parts. It didn't work. I mean, we all heard it was going to be about the Serpent Society first off. Then we got the news that, it had so much political nonsense in it. They had to cut that out. They put in this, put that all kind of thing. And then to top it all off, let's throw in Red Hulk, because what everybody wants to see is Falcon fighting Red Hulk. No, nobody wants to see Hulk fighting Red Hulk. No, that wouldn't work at all. That would not work at all, at all, at all, at all. No, let's have Falcon fight. It didn't work. It bombed at the box office, and we all know why. Speaking of other bombs at the box office, we got Thunderbolts. Because what is better than putting together a ragtag team of individuals who have more psychological problems than most mental health institutions, right? We had Daddy I'm So Lonely, right? We had Bucky Barnes who doesn't know what the hell to do with himself anymore. We had Red Guardian who apparently hasn't realized that he isn't funny at all for some reason. We have a US agent who was actually the most well put together character in that movie, but still couldn't actually do anything in regards to it. We had Taskmaster who got shot in the head early on, and that was the one bright spot of this entire movie. We had Ghost, who apparently hasn't realized she needs to disappear permanently. And then we had Valentina, who I'm not entirely sure they were trying to make her into a villain. She just came off as a greedy corporate nitwit. That was it. And then, and let's not forget, even trying to change the name to just call it New Avengers wasn't going to work. The entire movie had nothing to stand on. It could not support its own weight. And let's not, it did have weight. That was the whole thing about it. It could not support its weight. And it literally crushed itself on it because you brought in character like Century and there was no jazz to it. None. Even when it turned into the void, I didn't care. I really didn't. I was like, is this over yet? What's the point of it? I know some people liked it, but let's be perfectly honest here. This movie had less juice than juice. That was it. Wasn't getting there. Wasn't getting there. We finally get to the top two now. And at number two, this is gonna shock some people. Fantastic Four First Steps. Honestly, this was without a doubt the best MCU movie for 2025. Seriously. And that's saying something. The retro 1960s vibes like that. The whole family dynamic wasn't bad. And shocking as it was, I did not dislike Pedro Pascal's portrayal of Reed Richards as much as I thought I would. Honestly didn't. Understand me? I was not a big fan of female Silver Surfer, but she had some cool moments. And again, hell, even freaking Galactus looked really good. The whole him wanting to steal their baby so he could transfer his powers to him didn't make any sense at all. Because I'm not sure if female Silver Surfer was going to have to burp him after he devoured planets. And could you imagine the size of those diapers? Like, my God, she'd have to find black holes everywhere to throw that into. Yeah, but overall, it actually was a really decent movie. I must say, I think that Johnny Storm was one of the best characters there. He had a bit more likable. He had some more progression. They could have done more with Ben Grimm. Honestly, they didn't. And that was a little bit disconcerting to me. But overall, the movie had some feel to it. It was not by any stretch the best MCU movie ever. But had this movie come out back in the day, this could have still been a mid MCU movie. It would have at least made some money. Keep in mind, this one didn't. It flopped really freaking hard, but still, this one at the time could have made some money. But this is what you now live in a time where the MCU has pissed off everybody and there is no fixing that. But overall, Fantastic Four First Steps was without a doubt the best MCU movie for 2025. Can't even deny that. Now we get to number one, right? This is without a doubt, in my opinion, the best superhero movie of the year. And please do not bite my head off until you heard what I have to say here. K-pop Demon Hunters. Okay, hold on. Before you start the riot and turn off the video and say, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Just hear me out for a minute, all right? I wasn't expecting this either, all right? K-pop Demon Hunters wasn't made for me. I am not the target audience. I freely admit that. But it grows on you. It grew on me. This movie, K-pop Demon Hunters, and like I said, okay, it's not a traditional superhero movie, but it does have some aspects of that. And that's why I think it kind of deserves the number one spot. Because basically how I would justify this is that the movie has really good elements to it. It deals with friendship, you know, aggression, some prejudice, fighting back against something that you've been told all your life, overcoming hardships, that you're strong, that together, working all of that, right? Even the characters were actually really nice. The K-pop girls on them were actually interesting. They had different personalities, a lot of that. And it wasn't awful, terrible, no girl boss crap, anything like that. They were fun, they were friendly, they were enjoyable. The songs were good, the atmosphere, everything was good. And one of the things I do like about it is that, there was an actual good twist to it. Spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen it, but when it is Rumi ended up with the mask, not of the sin and all that and all of this, right? Normally, there's this normal thing in people where everybody gets all down and all that thing, and everybody had to go with that. Yes, that did happen. But then she fought back against it. She was like, I'm going to build something stronger. I believe in my friends. They believe in me. And it came to pass. And I actually like that. And again, of all the superhero movies for 2025, this one easily beats them all because it actually had an actual feel to superheroics. You understand me? They were high, they were low, and then they came back and they overcame. They did what they had to do. Again, freely admit, it wasn't made for me. I'm not the target audience, but when there is a reason, it is a breakout success. And again, I will say, number one spot for me has to go to K-pop Demon Hunters. Honestly. Nothing else I think could beat that because the rest of these movies and them didn't come close to it at all. But K-pop Demon Hunters, number one superhero movie of 2025. Shocking as it is, but yeah. So there's my list, people. My worst to best superhero movies of 2025, right? Some of them were so awful, I wish I could forget them. And some of them literally breakout success. Some of them, number two, could have been made back in the day, but MC was shot themselves in the foot at this point. But still, number one spot, K-pop Demon Hunters. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put a new video. And thank you all so much for all the support for 2025. See you in 2026. Take care.